this is Lady Goulet, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, I'll say it again, and many of you have said it too. I will be glad when this election season is over. So another group has bitten the dust. The Puerto Ricans got an unexpected wake-up call yesterday at a Trump rally. Some people are calling it a KKK rally. But I don't think they were expecting it to be hit with an insult by a podcast comedian. But that's what happened.
A lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
So he said that, and then he went on to say some other insulting things, indicating that Puerto Ricans don't practice birth control, and also that they invaded the country. Puerto Ricans are actually American citizens, so they're not invading the country, but it was interesting because Puerto Ricans think they're part of the white supremacist package. Many of them do. And they have a serious colorism problem in Latin America, including Puerto Rico. And they operate as if any degree away from blackness is a win for them. So I certainly am not upset because somebody says something like this to them, because they needed this wake-up call. As if they didn't get it back a few years ago when that Hurricane Maria came through and Donald Trump was down there throwing paper towel at them and telling them that they needed to get their economy in check. And also, this guy was calling it a floating garbage can or whatever it is, but it is said that they have a serious waste management problem down there in Puerto Rico. So what he's insinuating is that they are putting their waste out into the ocean, which is making it dangerous for the animals in the ocean and people who might swim in the ocean, quite possibly. So, okay, that's what he said. But Puerto Ricans are not quick learners, so they have tried to hold on to this idea that they are a part of the white power structure in the United States.
My friend made sure to call me to get my views this morning on what I think about last night's rally. I had this pin on my sweater and I took it off. I can't believe that comedian thinks that Puerto Ricans cross the border when we're American citizens. I can't believe that he thinks that all they know how to do is make babies. When I don't have any kids, I put my career first. I don't even depend on the system. I make too much money that I get denied if I go for any assistance. And then to call my island a garbage? I was born on the island. I was born in Cabo, Puerto Rico. Yep. In 6 months of birth, I was brought over here to the States and raised in the Bronx. Yep. I'm mad as hell right now. I don't even know what to say.
It must be very disappointing to find out that people that you're trying to identify with see you as other. And that is exactly how they see Puerto Ricans. I lived in New York City among Puerto Ricans for a few years after I graduated from college, and I had firsthand experience of how they try to separate themselves from black people, even though they're all living up there in the South Bronx together. All of them are on assistance. I worked at a daycare center. All of them were on some type of assistance program from the government. The black people, many of them from Jamaica, Puerto Ricans, Indians, Asians, all of them were getting federal assistance. But they separate themselves because that's what America teaches them to do. You know, you're not black, so that means that you're okay. But when you shake it down to a cob, those people are seen as other, just like black Americans. The only difference is we have agency here and they don't. So this came from USA Today. Bad Bunny, J-Lo, Ricky Martin support Harris after Trump rally, Puerto Rico comments. So these are Puerto Ricans, J-Lo and Ricky Martin and whoever this Bad Bunny is. They're Puerto Ricans. And so after Puerto Rico was insulted at the Trump rally, now they are supporting Harris, which indicates that they weren't supporting her before this. But again, they think they're in the package, and they're not. So this guy is attempting to explain why Puerto Ricans and other Latinos support the Republican ticket.
Luis, why do you think Latinos vote Republican? This is like a 2-hour conversation. I'm going to try to put it in 3 minutes. There's a few parts of it, but the main one is that we are a one-issue party voting structure. If you start breaking out in districts and budget and laws and a bunch of other shit, you lose them. But if you keep it simple and an arroz habichuela, like we say in Puerto Rico, then it's easier and then you can sell them on anything. Abortion, bad. You don't like abortion. You're religious. Therefore, do not vote for the people that want abortion. Those people are bad. We are good. And then they're like, oh, okay, good. Immigrants, take your job. Illegals, you are legal. You're good. They always keep it to these little snippets, stupid talking points. And people buy into it. And unfortunately, it's mostly poorly educated people. Just like Trump said, he liked the poorly educated. The much larger underlying problem, and the one that I think affects us the most, is white supremacy and colonization. It's two-tiered, but it comes kind of together. Because through that, Hispanics or Latinos or the Latina community or whatever, they have been taught that religion and finding God is the way to go. That religion was imposed hundreds of years ago. And to this day, they still hold it true. And they use religion as a method and an instrument of control. And they take that religion and they use it against them. They say, well, if you believe in these things and these traditional values, vote for us, because the other party doesn't believe in any of that stuff. Even if they're voting against themselves, it's Stockholm. They don't see it, but it is there. Voting through religion and through religious beliefs is how they get to control them. That is why I hate religion, because it permeates on everything. On your life, on your politics, on your work, on everything that you do. It is the ultimate tool of control when you think about it. And conservatives thrive on that. On fear, on somebody being sent by God, on you're going to hell, and all this bullshit. And people buy into it. Especially Latinos, because of colonization. They bought into it. They've been heavily brainwashed. And also substantially, it's also white supremacy, you know. They want to have proximity to whiteness. That's why when you're dating a white person in Puerto Rico, they say, mejorando la raza. Oh, you're bettering the race. They have been taught, since the process of colonization started, that the closer you are to whiteness, the better and purer you are. They're not even aware of it. It's like in their reptilian brain, it's activated in some weird way, and they don't even think about it. It takes a lot of self-improvement and self-awareness and process of thought to understand these things. But people just don't have the propensity or the time to do so, you know? Hopefully they'll wake up soon, because they are voting against their own fucking interests and in favor of their own demise. Que tenga un buen día.
Well, he's talking about his own people, and he said it best. Number one, he says they're poorly educated. Number two, he says they're indoctrinated by religion and believe what people say relative to God, which may or may not be true. But he saved the best for last, and that's white supremacy. They want proximity to whiteness. They want to assimilate into white society, and they believe they can do that when they come to America, just like a lot of immigrants think, that they're going to come here and assimilate into white society because they don't want to be associated with those black people. So they will all receive the wake-up call in the fullness of time, and black people won't have to say one word to them. White folks will do it, and that is why I say leave them alone and let the white folks handle it. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for listening. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and have a good evening.